Hey, Tony Gasson here, popping in for another episode of Talks with Tony. Now we moving right along. Let me see now. I actually need to be checking these to make sure I haven't read this. Okay, it don't look familiar. Dear Mr. Tony Gaskins, good day. I hope you are doing well. Thank you for always enlightening us. It's it always helps to hear your thoughts on different situations. I am a 29-year-old woman who, okay, I'm gonna read through the like any typos or what have you, so y'all forgive me if I have to kind of correct it as I'm going. I am a 29-year-old woman who has never been married and only got into 3 relationships in the past. I have never been on my back with any of them. I don't really have a lot of experience in relationships with a man. I was single for 5 years before I met the man I am currently dating now. He is 37 years old, divorced man, and a doctor. He has a 2-year-old daughter with an old girlfriend of 1 year. I don't know, now it's looking familiar. All is going good the first 3 to 4 months, despite the difference in our schedule. He always finds time to FaceTime me, but all of a sudden it changed. I tried to discuss it with him. I think we read this one. This the doctor, and I remember somebody said, "Oh yeah, the doctors they busy." Yeah, I think this one. But now this part look a little different. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think we read this one before. But if we did not, it was yeah. I think we read this one before. Um. All right, we moving right along. Hey, y'all in this with me now. So listen, and I ain't got time to be starting videos over because it changes your energy when you're doing multiple takes. That's why I don't work in TV because you do the multiple takes. It'd be all right. Take one, take two, take three, take four. So you know by take four, you saying the same. Today on, now you got an attitude because it's take four. And so with me, hey, we just got the flow. It's real and raw. I'm reading for the first time when I get on here. Alrighty. Hi, Tony. I am a 31-year-old female with 2 kids. I grew up with my mom. Her family raised me while my father pursued his dreams with school. He is a Harvard graduate. He lets everybody know. He said he went to school for my sister and I to have a better life. He did that for himself and for his ego. Because for my father to be a Harvard graduate, there's a lot of things my sister and I shouldn't have saw or experienced, like having no hot water, lights, or standing in line at food pantries. I picked up his slack. He never raised us. We had to do things his way and on his terms, even down to speaking to him. He only came around every other weekend. I thought that was normal even when I got older. And I honestly didn't realize he was my father until I was about 6. And no, my mother never had other men around ever, but I just didn't know what a father was. Now that I'm older, he seems to be somewhat remorseful for not being around the way he should have been, but after every conversation, he seems to flip the script and turn the blame on me and blaming me for my decisions I have made with men/life. I had no example of one. I don't even have a brother. I'm just tired of giving him advice. I'm just tired of no, okay. I'm just tired of him giving advice on things I've clearly seen and had to experience on my own. I'm already grown now. I've grown and learned. Over the years, I have forgiven him for all the empty promises. He really said my sister and I should go away with him for the weekend to talk about this. I said no, because I know it's never going to happen. It's not the first time he said this. And 2, I'm tired of talking about this. Don't don't get me wrong. Just because I'm grown doesn't mean I'm too ignorant to take advice, but I'm not no one's dumping place for their emotional baggage, not even my father's. How do I get him to stop? P.S. I had a dream about him a couple years back. I was really rich and he was on his deathbed. I wrote him a check for $50,000. I ripped it up and said it's not enough. So I made one out for $500,000. When I gave it to him, his eyes got wide. I told him to see if he can take that with him, and I left. I still haven't told him the dream. Sincerely. Woo! What? Oh, Micah dropped a bomb on the end now. Wow. So you seen that in the movie? Have you seen that in the movie? Now that there. Whew. Like, whew. Wow. Every father need to hear that right there. Every father need to hear that right there. Now I'm gonna read that again. Now you turn your screen recorder on. For those of y'all who have iPhone, when you swipe down from the top, on that bottom left corner, you see a little time thing. Look like, I think you hit that, it count down from 3. Then you can swipe back up, and whatever is on your phone, it's gonna record it. For those of y'all who didn't know how to do a screen record, but you can't have your headphones, and you got to have the volume turned up and playing out through the phone if you want to record the volume. Now, for those of y'all with other phones, you'll have to Google. Now let's read this again now. P.S. I had a dream about him a couple years back, talking about her father. I was really rich and he was on his deathbed. I wrote him a check for $50,000. I ripped it up and said it's not enough. So I made one out for $500,000. When I gave it to him, his eyes got wide. I told him to see if he can take that with him, and I left. I still haven't told him the dream. Sincerely. Woo. Now, based on her name, it sounds like she a poet too, or somebody deep. And she done lived and made some mistakes. She say she got a Snapchat filter on here, so I can't see all the way, but that right there hit hard. There, that hit hard. Just to think, how it's men chasing money, and that's one of the downfalls. Now, it's some women that do it, but it's not near as many women that do this as men do this. Because men, we about that grind, we about working. We known for that. We are infamous for grinding and putting work before any and everything. And we are infamous for the phrase, love do not pay the bills. Love don't pay no bills. Like, men, we quick to talk about the importance of money. And that right there hit me when she said she had that dream. Because I always hear my mama say that. Now, this is also something that broke people who want to stay broke say, you can't take it with you. You ain't gonna better take it with you. It's like, well, okay, well, I at least want to save a little bit of it for tomorrow. I don't want to spend every dime. And like, okay, I'm hoping to live a little bit. So now, yeah, I can't take it with me, but that's what they got a will for. Now, but this right here is a different situation, because essentially what she's saying in her dream is, it's a quote I seen that said, I wish everyone could get what they think will make them happy, so that they can realize that's not what happiness is. And that right there hit me hard. And see, so it sounds like her father being a Harvard graduate, and they could be from the island, or from another country. And a lot of times when that's the case, that schooling means a whole lot, because this is a woman of color. It's not too many Black Americans who born in America. So if this the case, this would be an exception to the rule. Typically, people of color who's super serious about school, typically from another country. Black Americans, yes, you have a good amount of us, but it's not the same way. That's why I heard speakers say that an immigrant is 4 times more likely to become a millionaire than a natural born citizen of America. because they come with a dream and a plan. Whereas when you born here, a lot of times you just go through the motions and you on the path that they put you on. But you ain't necessarily super focused about it because you've always been in the land of dreams. You've always, quote unquote, the land of dreams. You've always been in the land of opportunity. So a lot of people who born in America take it for granted. And a lot of people who come from another place, they're like, listen, if you had to come from where I come from, it's not as much opportunity, it's not as much money, it's not as many schools, it's not as much, equal level playing field. So listen, I come over here, or my parents came over here to give us a better life. And so that right there, what her father was saying, sound more to me like someone who came over from another country, but she didn't state that. So, I can only assume that they are an American family. Did good, buddy? That's awesome. That's awesome.
Mommy's sending you a video right now.
Okay, awesome. I love you. I'll shoot another video for y'all don't realize. For those of you who didn't know, I did that hour and a half video. It's actually premiering right now, so y'all watching that video. Yeah, I know you probably thought that I was vain because I shoot these videos. You probably thought I shoot the premiere and I sit there and be watching myself to see what y'all saying. No, I'm working. I'm bike shooting another video, and what my son had to sing for the high schoolers today. And so he just got back, so I'm on another video. That's why I was saying clothes as the last video. And you're gonna see me in this here a lot now because I got a lot of black shirts too, and I like wearing a black hat. So now just because y'all see me in the same thing don't mean that it's all in the same day, because I got a lot of the same clothes. I got a lot of the black shirts and a lot of black hats, okay? And that's the honest to God truth. Sometimes it's in the same day, but a lot of times just because I wear the same thing over and over. And I got that from, the rich boys, Mark Zuckerberg and them and all, Steve Jobs. They say they just get up throwing the same thing, so they ain't got to think about clothes. So now listen, this is what I'm going to tell you, and I know this is hard to hear, and it's easy for me to say, and I want you to understand that it's easy for me to say. I understand that it's easy for me to say, but me being on the outside looking in, I can look at the perspective of it. And a lot of times what the mistake we make as youth, the mistake we make as children who was brought into the world by somebody else, is we hold grudges against our parents. We hold grudges against our parents, and we never really take the time to really understand their makeup and what they went through and what they lived through. And we get mad at them, and a lot of times our parents never tell us. Like every time I talk to my mama or my daddy, I learn something else about their childhood, and I'm 37 years old. And you would think that I would already know everything about them. But anytime I coach a client who mad with their mama or daddy, I tell them, go back home and you sit down with your mama or daddy and you have a real conversation. Say, tell me your life story. Now trust me, you got to brace yourself, because you're going to hear some stuff in your parents, in your daddy life story, that is going to knock the wind out of you. You when you sit there and you just listen, and you're not judging, this is what a lot of people don't understand. Your daddy, and this could go for your mama too, but she's speaking about her dad, so we just going to put it on dads. Your daddy could tell you that he was beat within an inch of his life by his father. Your daddy could tell you that every week he was punched in the mouth, in the nose, in the eye, in the stomach by his father. I've been around this particular man, when I'm working in a certain organization, and it's one particular man that every time we go to talking about our upbringing, he mentioned his daddy and the way his daddy used to put hands on him. And this man is big, tall, strong, and was known for being a mean dude, a tough dude. And every single time he break down crying about what his daddy used to do to him. And because of that, it has made him extremely soft on his son. And so a lot of times we don't know what our parents have gone through, and that's what we got to realize. Like, you have to get to the place to where you say, you know what? I forgive you, mama. I forgive you, daddy. Because I know you're not doing what you did to me because you hate me, or because you don't like me, or you don't love me. You doing it because you were not loved, because of the love you lacked, because of the support you lacked, because of the information you were not given. That's why you doing it to me. And you know I don't deserve it. And no, I didn't ask to be here. And yes, you brought me into the world. But me holding a grudge against you is not going to help me. It's not going to make my life better. And so let me meet you where you are. Because you in your last days, you in your older age. So you going to leave this earth before I leave this earth. And I would rather help you heal and go out with a smile on your face than to hold a grudge against you and to lose you and still be living with a grudge and make my grave come closer to me because I've been carrying resentment in my heart toward the man or the woman that brought me into the world. And that's what we have to realize. And so I remember, just looking, and I look at my family, I look at my mom and dad, and when I look at their story, I'm like, okay, both of them, the baby of 12, they come from absolutely nothing. Lived in shacks or little trailers, or just come from much of nothing. No real success. My daddy had to get out of school. Left the 12th grade. I thought I had something in my eye. My daddy had to, he left the 12th grade, took the GED test, and went to the Army. That's because of a lack of direction. It's people from the same area that went on to college. My daddy never played any sports. That comes from having an active mother and father in your life to put you in sports. My dad never played organized sport. And actually, is a good athlete. My dad was fast. It took me a while before I could beat him running. Good athlete, in shape. Had he played sports, he probably could have went to college on a full football scholarship or track scholarship. He got good genetics and never played sports. His mom was murdered when he was 7 or 8 years old. And so what does that do to a young man, to a little boy? And then it sounded like his mom and daddy was split up, and his daddy had to come back home to raise him and the other brothers that weren't 18 yet. And so, but then his daddy was a wise man, so he says, but also a very aggressive man, to the point that his daddy would pull out a shotgun and shot at his older brother because his older brother back talked him or said something disrespectful. Went and got his shotgun, came out, his brother was peeling off in his car. His daddy went out in the street, sat up and went to shooting at his son. And lived by that, I brought you in this world and I'll take you out. So what does that do to a young man watching that? Then my mama, practically raised herself. Her mama had, 3-4 different baby daddies. Her dad died, early. And all her sisters was a hot mess for the most part. Some of them did well through school. But then after that, I've always known all of my mother's siblings, for the majority of them to be addicts, drug addicts or alcoholics, nicotine addicts. My dad, some of his brothers were drug addicts and died from that lifestyle. So when I look at what they grew up around, like I don't have a uncle on either side that I know of that has a college degree. I don't have an aunt on either side that I know of that has a college degree. I don't know of any that even went to college. Now, some of their kids went to college and got degrees, but you see what I'm saying? So when I look at my parents, when I look at their scarcity mindset, and when I look at how bad they want money and how money means everything to them and how much they complain about money and just having money to be able to live, I realize it's just a product of their environment, just where they come from. Just not having a whole lot or having some but not having enough. And so, and just having the mindset of like, none of us make it out, and if you make it out, you're supposed to take care of us. Having that mindset. But when I look at, white kids, none of them do anything for their parents. Like when I look at majority of white kids that make it and that's successful, they mama and daddy more successful than them. But when you look at, when I look at my family, that's not the case. When I look at my family, that's not the case. Like the grandparents are not more successful. The generation before, like my mom and dad surpassed their mom and dad. And then now I've surpassed my mom and dad. So what happens is the kids end up taking care of the parents. But when you look at what we come through, especially if you of color, this young lady's of color. And you in America. So her daddy went to Harvard. And so when you look at it, it's like it's other things that they going through that they dealing with. What if your father told you a man violated him at a young age? How would you then see his pain, his struggle, his story? Or if a woman violated him at a young age, how would you then see his pain, his story? So this is the thing, is that we have to get to the place to where we could forgive. Where we could forgive and we could try to seek to understand, because the youth in a lot of cases will be more healthy and whole than the elders. Because the elders had to walk so we could run, so we could drive. I listen to my grandma, she say she walked 5 miles to school. And then, so guess what? She walked 5 miles to school so my mama could ride the bus to school. My mama rode the bus to school so that I could get dropped off in a car to school. You see, yeah, the brakes and the AC was squealing. Had to get dropped off around the corner. And I used to tell my mama, please don't drive all the way up. Mama, don't drop me off in the front of the school. You need to stop being ashamed. You better be glad we even got a car. A lot of your friends walking to school. And she was right. But I'm like, I would rather walk than to be pulling up here with all this. The AC, you cut the AC on and the AC just be screeching, just loud. Everybody, who is that? Who is that? Who that is? Oh, that's Tony? Oh, that's your car? And it don't help to say, well, you had to walk. I'd rather walk than ride it what you ride in. And my mama couldn't drive no stick shifts. So we coming up, and when she supposed to be downshifting, she cutting off and stalling out. So now we stalling out, rolling up to the stop. Then you get out the car, she can't crank up. Oh my goodness. So it was a lot of days that we used to have her drop us off around the corner. Because we was ashamed. Nobody want to get bullied. But now, guess what? I had to get dropped off in that. So my sons could get dropped off in luxury cars. You see what I mean? And I'm hoping that they could pass me and my wife. But my goal is me and my wife, our goal is for us not to need our sons. For us not to need their money. For us to have the savings to have the money to where if we need a nurse to come in our 80s or 90s, that we have that. Oh yeah, that look real good, baby. Where that come from? That look good, yeah. Now listen, the mosquito gonna get up under there? I say the mosquitoes gonna get up under there? The mosquitoes gonna get up under there?
I'll just spray my legs.
Put the off on. Let me see the sound. Oh yeah, no, ooh, you doing good. Nah. That's for Jamaica? Jamaica?
Remember the ship that I sent you the pictures?
Oh yeah.
Just came in today. I'm trying them on.
I like that. That look good and comfortable too. But now listen, if it's a little breeze, that dress, what is it called, a sundress? Yeah, I'm gonna have you. You probably want some tights under there, just in case you get a little breeze. That look good, doesn't it? Try the rest of them on for me. Shoot me a little video. All right, now. My wife never wear dresses. Never wear dresses. You probably scroll her whole Instagram, you might not see a dress. But we're going to Jamaica, and so she getting a little sundresses. Look good now. Now she don't wear nothing mini. She don't wear nothing mini, nothing little. But back to what I was saying. Now, cause this is a real serious thing, and I'm glad we getting something that's not dealing with a normal relationship. Because this real serious, so this probably won't be no prime time video. This might be a noon video or something. But this is the thing. A lot of us, we live with grudges, and we can't understand our parents, and everything they say and everything they do, it rubs us the wrong way. And so I had to get to the place to where I got to understand, okay, like, this is my mom. This is my mom. This is just how my mama is. Okay, this is my dad. This is just how my dad is. My dad, he emotionally intelligent, so he's not really the same as my mom. My mom, she's stream of conscious. So the day, I'm gonna tell you how she do the day. She driving her car. I bought her a 2020 Mercedes-Benz GLB 250 or something like that. It's like a $45,000 car. And so I get the car, and she driving the car. She get ready to go. A man riding his bicycle. He coming out, she going. He swerved because he out in the road. He swerved, and his handlebar catch the side of her car and scrape all down the side of her car. So she been needing to get it fixed. And I told her, like, listen, I ain't doing no claim on my insurance now. You gonna have to pay for that because you should have been driving more careful. That's what my mouth said. Now here I am paying for it. But today, this is what it was today. I'm working out. She calling me. She texting me. She sending me voice note. Yeah, I'm finna go to the place. Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah, you picked them things out good, baby. Different sandals. Yeah, same sandal, just different color. Nah, that one right there look better than the other one. You know what though? Because it's just a little more form fitting, but they both serve their purpose. Yeah, that look good. Yeah. Look real good. Hey, stop talking to him with them things in your ear. Stop talking to him with them things in your ear.
You filming?
Take them things out your ear. Got me talking about, I love that, doesn't I? Yes. Huh? Anthropology? Okay. I thought that store sell furniture. Oh no, that's the clothing store down there. Okay. Anthropology look good now. I'm gonna have to give you an apology. Y'all gotta forgive my wife trying on her dresses, so y'all gotta forgive me. So now this is what mama today. Yeah, Tony, I was calling you because I know I was supposed to go to the car with the $1,400 place, the one that cost $1,400, but they give me the runaround and they ain't doing what they supposed to do. So yeah, I'm at a place now. They said $2,500, and I feel peace in my spirit about this. So I think I'm gonna just leave it here at the $2,500. And they told me they'll get it out in 4 days. So, but they said for it to be done right, it's gonna be $2,500. So I'm like, now hold on, now. Said $1,400. Now you talking about $2,500? Yeah, Tony. Actually, I left that place because after they told me that $2,500, I actually no longer felt peace in my spirit. So now I'm over here at the black man spot. I done come over here 3 times. Every time he act like he don't remember who I am, but now he telling me he can do it for $800. So, the man at the other place told me, that he sent all his cars here, and this man do a good job. And so, it's a black man. I'm trying to support him. He said $800. He's the cheapest one. So, it looked like all his work looked good. So I'm gonna let him do it. So yeah, I done dropped it off now. So now here I am. I'm like, okay. And this been going on for 2 weeks. Mom, I got stuff to do. You keep changing your mind, but you know why? It's because she got a budget. So now when you give her some money to shop, she on top of the world. When it comes to spending some money, that's her language. And it drive me up a wall, but I have to realize that's my mom. And so I pay my mom bills $3,000 a month, and she called me one time. That's $36,000 a year. That's more than probably what she made on her job her whole life. And she called me one time. Yeah, I can't really feel it. I know you pay on bill, but I can't really feel it like how you was giving me cash. I could feel that. Now I can't really feel it. I'm like, what? You in a new house, a new car. Your bill is paid. Your car insurance, your lights, your water. Furnish your whole house, $15,000-$20,000 worth of furniture. You can't feel it? But I have to realize that's my mama. So I just forgive, understand she come from nothing. She come from scarcity. I done seen the house she grew up in. I wouldn't even walk past the house. The house looked so bad. You know, that area. And that area is not called the bottom, the hole. It's where all of the people who strung out, that's where they live. That's where my mom and daddy were raised. So I have to realize that. So I say that to say, you got to sit down and you got to forgive your mother and father. You got to forgive them. The good book say, honor thy mother and father, your days will be long upon the earth. Because, and remember the quote, it's a quote out there that says, Google the quote, it says, forgiveness is a gift you give yourself. By you holding a grudge against your daddy, all that's going to make you do is turn your nose up at every man you meet. When you meet a man or you dealing with your man, you know, you're going to look at him sideways because of your daddy. You're going to give him a strike. Before he even step up to the plate to take a swing, he already got 1 strike, 2 strikes. He do one thing, boom, that's 3 strikes, and he ain't even swung but once. And because of your daddy. So you have to make sure that you forgive your parents and that you seek to understand, then be understood. And if forgiveness means getting distance, at least you forgiven. If forgiveness means you don't hold a grudge, if he say, hey, we ought to go somewhere on the weekend, then guess what? Say, hey, pack your bags. On a Thursday, hey, pack your bag. I'm picking you up tomorrow. We going away on the weekend so we could talk, like you've been saying. Oh, I ain't gonna be able to make it. My appendix been acting up on me this week. Okay, hit him again the next weekend you get. Hit him again the next weekend. Put the onus on him to where he have to keep pushing you off, and you go from thing to thing. Oh yeah, that look real good. That now what that is for the night? What was it for nighttime? Oh yeah, that's your new style there. This is what I like to see you in. Nah, that's the material I like too. Yeah. All right. My wife never wear dresses. Now these dresses is long and decent. Now they flowing. They like sundresses. But I just like that old material. Just get your hand full. Just grab that soft material. Ooh, listen here. Only thing I'm thinking about is the mosquitoes going up that dress. Cause listen here now, I ain't finna be sharing with the mosquitoes. But I don't know how the mosquitoes is over there. Now, if you live in Jamaica now, tell me about somewhere. Well, I don't know if we actually can go nowhere, but tell me about somewhere that got that real curd chicken, that real oxtail, that real curd goat. Now, tell me about something now. Now, I can't eat no anybody cooking now, so it got to be a restaurant, because you just don't never know who somebody work for. The government trying to get me. They'll have one of they people on here comment, yeah, come over to my house. I got something cooked for you. And little do I know that person worked for such and such government. And they put something in there. So yeah, I know my wife ain't gonna let me do that. But point me to one of them little holes now. One of them little spots, little restaurants, little hole in the wall, little place somewhere that I seen on YouTube where they out in the, look like they was in the woods out there cooking spicy chicken wing, habanero. Scotch bonnet. Had that Scotch bonnet and chicken wing battle. I said, okay, frying chicken wing with Scotch bonnet in it. So if you're in Jamaica now, let me know. Send me an email to support@TonyGatz.com. Send me an email. Thank you. So this the moral of this right here. This gonna be hard, and I'm gonna tell y'all something. Somebody need to do this. I ain't gonna be able to do it because I don't have enough experience with it. But and I feel like it's gonna be a woman that need to do this, and everybody could do it. Everybody who's gone through something. But one of the biggest issues that I see, this right here is a daughter to the father. This is out here. This happened, but being that I get a lot of letters from ladies, one thing I notice a lot is the mother-daughter relationship. Ooh. it be so rough, so tough, so toxic, so many times. So if you are a woman who your mama, if that one your mama, you will knock all the teeth out her mouth. If you had that feeling the way you wanted to strangle her, or vice versa, and y'all have made amends, and y'all got over that, you need to write a book and or start a foundation for mother-daughter relationships. Because I believe that's just something from the adversary that has just, and it tears apart too. That mother-daughter, it even helped tear up the household with the man. And the man of the house, he may put them two against each other. Spoil the daughter and then be abusing the mama. And then the daughter getting jealous and mad with the mama and hating the mama, thinking the mama hate her. And the daughter is daddy's little girl and loving the daddy, but don't even know that the mama disposition is the way it is because of the daddy. And then that creates this tension, this resentment against mother and daughter. They against each other. And the man could be the problem. And then sometimes there's no man there, and the man ain't the problem, but it's just a woman-to-woman thing. And I'm a man, so I don't understand it, but I read about it way more than I would like to. So I'm just here to say to y'all, like, you know, somebody got to lead that charge of, instead of just seeking an understanding about a father or just seeking an understanding about men, we need women on the front line leading the charge to create curriculum or retreats or books or online courses that bring healing and bonding and mending between mothers and daughters. Hey, this is Tony Gasson. God bless you. Remember, right now we enrolling for the growth group, and it's a group coaching experience. It's gonna be limitless. Just whatever come to me, we dumping in there, and it's on TonyGassonAcademy.com. It's enrolling now, and we'll have enrollment periods. It won't just be like a rolling enrollment. We'll do enrollment periods. And but I'll probably leave it open initially for a month or two, and we're just gonna grow it. We just we're just gonna grow it and get it to where it need to get. If it get to where, okay, we got a few people more than what we need, then we'll say, hey, tonight's call is for those last names start with A through G. Tonight's call is H through M. Tonight's call is N to R. And tonight is S through Z. You see what I mean? And do different calls where it's still sectioned up to where you answering questions, you get in the lesson, answering questions, and we're just gonna be building. You know, some member led. I'm gonna be meeting members. We're gonna find a group chat, find the best one that everybody could get on, and so meet the members. So if I see there's a, you know, family therapist, that family therapist maybe could lead a Zoom call or a teleconference call. If it's somebody who is a real estate investor and can show them books, that meaning show the portfolio, your name on the title and deed of a duplex, a few different rental properties, could do a real estate. Somebody who does, you know, credit repair and got a legitimate company, could do a thing on credit. You know, so it'll be some member-led stuff as well in the different expertise. We have a doctor in there who worked with the head, talk to us about headaches and what we need to look out for, gastrointestinal, endocrinology, all the different knowledges. We'll have, you know, doctor, we got a lawyer in there that deal with family law, divorces and child support and custody. So we'll have member-led sessions as well, to where if it's not a session, then it could be me interviewing them on Zoom. So when you join the group, the growth group mastermind, if you have a skill, I ain't talking about now you barely decent at it. I'm talking about this is what you do in your sleep. Like, you know what you know. The way you see me come on here and I could talk for an hour on love and relationships or life coaching, you could do that in your field. Then email in. I create an email for the group too, but until then you could just send it to support, you know, but you can email in and Say, hey, Tony, I'm on this, and I just put the names down. It won't happen right away, but over time, because we'll grow into it. But first, I'm going to be dumping in everything I got to give and then start sprinkling in other things. So the link to it is in the description. So get in before we close it. God bless you. We'll talk soon.